90 days ago, he had no discipline. Not the dramatic kind people confess online, but the quieter kind. He would promise to sleep early, then watch another episode. Promise to train tomorrow, then wake up negotiating. Promise to stop scrolling, then lose an hour before breakfast. From the outside, everything still looked normal. He answered messages, went to work, and smiled when he had to. But inside, something was breaking. Every broken promise taught him the same painful lesson. My word does not mean much when I say it to myself. That is where the shame lives. Not in laziness, but in no longer trusting yourself. Then he found an old idea that changed the problem. Discipline was not a mysterious feeling he had lost. It was something learnable. Over the next 90 days, he did not try to become a different person overnight. He kept one small promise, then another, until self-trust became evidence he could stand on. Aristotle believed that we become what we repeatedly do, not what we intend, not what we announce, not what we feel motivated to begin. Character is formed through repeated action. A courageous person becomes courageous by doing courageous things. A disciplined person becomes disciplined by practicing discipline in ordinary moments. In modern terms, you do not wait until you feel like someone who keeps promises. You become that person by keeping promises small enough to keep and meaningful enough to matter. Most people chase intensity. They wait for the perfect Monday, the perfect plan, the perfect mood, and then collapse when life pushes back. The first principle is to make the promise small enough that you remove the theater. For him, it was 10 minutes before bed. Phone in another room, one page read. He could read more, but not less. The goal was not to finish books. The goal was to become someone who does what he says. At first, it felt almost insulting. One page did not feel like discipline, but that was the trap. He had respected intensity more than consistency. For the first 2 weeks, he added nothing. He simply protected the promise. The first job was not to change his entire life. It was to create a daily record of trust. The second principle is to make the promise challenging enough to shape you, but small enough to keep. Aristotle taught that virtue sits between extremes. Discipline is not softness, where every discomfort becomes an excuse. It is not harshness, where you treat yourself like an enemy. It's the right amount of difficulty, repeated. So choose the promise that creates small friction without breaking the chain. If 10 minutes of exercise feels real but possible, choose 10. If 30 minutes will become a performance you abandon by Friday, do not choose 30 yet. The point is not to impress an imaginary audience. The point is to train your character in private. By day 20, something subtle had changed. He was not transformed, but one area of his life had become solid. That led to the third principle. Protect the promise from your mood. Most broken discipline begins with the wrong question, do I feel like doing this? But a promise is a decision made before the feeling arrives. The practical move is to decide the action before the mood has a vote. Put the shoes by the door, place the book on the pillow, charge the phone outside the room. Open the document before sleep. Do not rely on becoming more inspired. Reduce the number of decisions between you and the action. By day 35, he broke the promise. He came home late, took his phone to bed, and woke up with the old familiar shame. The instinct was to make one failure mean everything. See, you have not changed. The streak is gone. The whole thing is ruined. But one missed day is not an identity. The fourth principle is to recover quickly without drama. You need a rule for failure before failure happens. Never break the promise twice in a row. If you miss the walk today, walk tomorrow. If you scroll tonight, move the phone back tomorrow. No speech, no self-hatred, no grand reset on Monday. By day 50, the promise became stronger. One page became 10 minutes of reading. Walking became light training. A small cleanup became resetting the desk before bed. This is the fifth principle. Increase difficulty only after consistency has made you stable. Self-trust creates momentum, but pressure added too early collapses the foundation. Use progressive difficulty. For the first 30 days, keep the promise small and almost boring. For the next 30, add a little weight. For the final 30, connect the habit to identity. Not, I am trying to be disciplined, but I am becoming someone who keeps his word. By day 90, his life was not perfect. He was not a machine. He still felt temptation, doubt, and tiredness. But his relationship with himself had changed. When he said he would do something small, he believed himself. When he failed, he returned. Discipline had become character, not punishment. The cost of staying the same is not only that your body does not change, your room remains messy, or your project stays unfinished. The deeper cost is that your own goals start to sound like lies. You feel tired before you begin, because you are not only fighting the task, you are fighting your history with yourself. If you want to rebuild self-trust, do not begin with a promise that belongs to the person you wish you were. Begin with a promise the person you are today can keep. Keep it quietly. Keep it after you fail. Then increase the weight. 90 days from now, you can have evidence that discipline was something you became.